whenever you're ready.
All right. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Rosales family, we appreciate you taking time to come and hear part of their story. This morning, we filed a suit against X-Fab related to an explosion that occurred on November 12th at their facility. We are representing Mr. Rosales' 3-year-old daughter and his parents in this case, and our goal is to find answers as to why this tragic incident occurred. We have filed this suit because X-Fab has chosen not to carry workers' compensation coverage, which means this is the avenue we have to get answers for the family and to determine why something like this occurred, because this shouldn't occur. And it only happens when a company is negligent and makes mistakes. We want to ensure that this never happens to another family and that no one has to go through what the Rosales family is going through now. So again, thank you for being here, thank you for your time, and we look forward to pursuing this case and getting the answers they deserve.
Eric, what have you guys learned so far? Obviously, the investigation is still ongoing, but what have you guys learned so far that has made this point where it may be malice?
Well, what we understand is obviously when these incidents occur, when you have a facility that deals with toxic chemicals, with things that could occur, that could allow something like this to occur, they have to be very safe, and they have to have precautions in place and take the steps necessary to ensure the safety of their employees. We know that facilities like this can't skip steps. They can't do things that will put their employees in danger. And then we know that when they do that, they should take care of those employees. And we know they don't have workers' comp here. We know that this family has one avenue for recourse, and that's why we're here and why we filed our suit.
What can you tell us about the Rosales family?
So Emmanuel Rosales had worked at X-Fab for a number of years. He left behind a 3-year-old that he loved dearly. He's got both parents that preceded him. He also had a brother that died before him, and so this family is struggling. We know that he was trying to raise his daughter in a way to give her a good life, and he worked hard, and he loved his family.
What can we expect to see moving forward? What's the next step now that you've filed the lawsuit? What's next?
Yes, sir. Well, we have been coordinating with X-Fab in an effort to get out to the scene. We aggressively investigate claims at our firm. We aggressively look into the facts and find out everything we can. So we have been in contact with them. We've reached out to OSHA to get all the information we can about this case. I assume as this case progresses, there will be more information that comes out, both regarding our investigation of the scene as well as talking to the folks that were involved.
This law firm has handled many wrongful death suits. How is this different from some that you guys have handled in the past?
Well, we handle all types of cases. Obviously, we deal with catastrophic injuries and deaths, and whether it's related to a trucking incident, whether it's related to an oil field incident, and then work-related incidents like this. What I can tell you is in each one of these, there is always someone that has lost a loved one and is suffering and is going through a terrible time. What we know in this case is that there was a facility that Emmanuel trusted to take care of his safety. We know that didn't occur. And so again, as we move forward, we'll get more answers about the specifics related to this explosion and why it happened, and hopefully we can keep this from happening again for people in the future.
In your lawsuit, there was, or the press release that was released, it talked about hydrogen peroxide that was, he was told to open the valve. Have we determined if that's standard practice, if that was like a day-to-day routine, or was this something out of the ordinary and different?
Well, again, we're in the early stages. Having been just over a week ago and having just gotten involved and actually reached out, we haven't had an opportunity to inspect the scene yet. We will. We'll get to find more information. We've been dealing with experts that can help us really understand why this occurred. What we know is this is a process that is done at the facility from time to time. I don't think it's a daily process, but we understand that when this process of cleaning out the DI or deionized water system takes place, there have to be certain precautions that are followed. And if they aren't, whether it be months ago that something wasn't followed, it can lead to catastrophic events just like this, and that's what we plan to find out.
So with that being said, how should something like the mixture of hydrogen peroxide and the DI water system be handled?
Well, I think that you've got to ensure that if you're going to add hydrogen peroxide, which I think most people see as just a household item, when it's used in certain contexts, it can lead to explosions like this. This isn't the first time we've seen hydrogen peroxide cause a major explosion. What we know is that in this facility, they have a number of chemicals that are used. They have certain types of cleaning products for their water and to deiodize the system. And so we believe that probably there was some mixture of chemicals, there was some mixture of byproduct left in this tank that when it's all combined leads to this catastrophic event.
And have there been any other unsafe incidents at X-Fab that might have, led up to this, the history of it, unsafe practices?
Well, at this point, I can't give you all those answers. Again, we plan to find out exactly everything that's gone on at X-Fab. We want to know how often this is done, what should be done in every event, not just from our perspective and what we would say is the safest way to do this, but also what we believe the industry standards are. And so we understand there have been other isolated incidents, maybe not related to this type of event, but there have been other injuries there in the past. But again, as it relates to this specific incident, we will get the answers, and that's why we want to aggressively move forward, and that's why we filed our suit, so we can start working on getting those answers. Thank you. And I have a picture of Emmanuel. I know that's something you probably haven't seen, but it's him and his daughter. I don't know if you all would like to see Emmanuel, but this is Emmanuel and his daughter together. Again, thank you all for coming. Appreciate you, and thank you for coming out today on behalf of this family.